Welcome, everyone, to Let's Chat. This is Interable's new weekly series on marketing's latest and greatest happenings, and we're excited to bring you insights that are actually curated by humans but delivered to you by AI voices like ours.
You heard us right.
And, the whole idea behind Let's Chat is really about being open to new possibilities in the era of AI-powered marketing.
Exactly. But mostly, we're here to help marketers stay sharp in an industry that moves fast.
We want to unpack some high-impact topics, but keep it, bite-sized, engaging, and hopefully really useful.
Kind of like dropping into your favorite marketing group chat.
Totally. So for our first deep dive, let's chat Marketing Vanguard Summit.
Okay.
Now, this summit, it's a pretty exclusive thing, just a single day hosted by Adweek.
Right.
They bring together about 100 CMOs, chief marketing officers, and they're rising stars, too.
Yeah, the upper covers.
Exactly. And the whole point is really to dig into the big challenges, and I guess the opportunities, too, that are, rapidly reshaping how marketing actually works these days.
Yeah. And what's really interesting about a gathering like the Marketing Vanguard Summit is you get this really concentrated view, forward thinking from people who are actually leading major brands day in, day out. And one of the themes that kept coming up, something that really struck me, was this need to fundamentally rethink how we do things, the established practices.
Right.
To, as some people were putting it, burn the old playbook.
Okay, burn the old playbook. Let's unpack that a bit. United Airlines was mentioned, right? It's a kind of fascinating example here. They're apparently deliberately moving away from the standard airline visuals, and even where they place their ads.
So not just the airport lounges.
Exactly. Instead of just, ads in airports talking to people already flying, using the same old tired travel ideas.
Yeah, the cliches.
Right. They're looking outside the airline world for inspiration, thinking more like, I don't know, athletes using really bold creative, putting ads in totally unexpected spots like Times Square even.
Wow, okay. That's different.
It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? What are the defaults, the things you've just accepted in your marketing because, well, that's how it's always been done. Is there anyone on your team actually asking, hang on, why are we doing it this way?
And that kind of questioning, it leads right into another really key insight from the summit.
Which is?
That real transformation, the deep stuff. It isn't just about grabbing the latest tech gadget. It really starts inside. It starts with building trust and really fostering innovation within your own organization.
Ah, okay, so internal culture first.
Exactly. We heard examples, Milani, Nature's Find. They talked about how creating that supportive internal space was absolutely key to their success on the outside.
Yeah, and Pete and Jerry's, the egg company, right? Their approach really seemed to highlight this too. Their focus is more on letting good ideas kind of grow organically, not just chasing every shiny new trend that pops up.
Right, nurturing ideas over just reacting.
It brings up a really crucial point for anyone listening. Are your internal processes, your systems, actually set up to encourage smart risks? To let new ideas bubble up?
Or are they maybe unintentionally slowing things down with too much structure?
Yeah, is process getting in the way of, say, loyalty or the actual customer experience? And I guess, does your company culture really, truly reflect a customer-first mindset at every single level?
And building on that idea of evolving internally, the discussions also pointed towards a pretty big shift in how brands need to engage with culture itself.
Okay, how so?
Well, it's moving beyond just sort of reflecting what's happening out there.
Like holding up a mirror?
Yeah, exactly. Moving beyond that to actually participating in creating the culture.
Ah, okay, so becoming co-creators.
Precisely. It means moving from just broadcasting to your audience to becoming genuine partners with them, co-creating.
Which implies, I guess, showing up differently.
Definitely. Showing up authentically in the places where your audience actually hangs out. Think about creator platforms, online communities.
Right.
Understanding the logic of those spaces, how they work, and maybe even getting comfortable with giving up a little bit of that tight brand control.
That's a big one for marketers, giving up control.
It is.
So the question for you listening is, what would it actually mean for you to shift? To stop leading just from the brand outwards and start genuinely building with your audience?
And then there was another vital piece discussed, how we actually measure if any of this is working, effectiveness.
Ah, measurement. Always a fun topic.
Right. And the feeling was marketers aren't really short on dashboards or data. Plenty of that.
Okay.
But sometimes maybe there's a lack of bravery, courage in looking beyond the metrics that are just easy to track.
Right. Like we can get so focused on the clicks, the impressions, the immediate stuff.
Exactly. The easily quantifiable.
That we might actually miss the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Things like, the actual impact on the business bottom line. Or are we culturally relevant? Are we making that emotional connection with people?
Precisely. You just can't optimize your way into true resonance, into that deep connection.
Yeah.
Sometimes you absolutely need that qualitative work, the insights that don't fit neatly on a spreadsheet.
So it begs the question then, for you listening, are you maybe leaning too heavily on those easily trackable numbers and potentially missing the broader signs of success? Things like customer joy or trust or that long-term loyalty.
Stuff that really builds a brand.
And finally, I think the summit really drove home this point that marketing leadership, especially looking towards, say, 2025, it means getting comfortable with managing, discomfort, managing a lot of tensions.
It's fascinating, really. Leaders now have to constantly balance these seemingly opposite forces.
Like what?
Well, like the need for speed, for agility, right? Versus the importance of real strategic depth. Or relying on data and logic, which we need, but also valuing intuition, that gut feeling, and that tension between keeping brand control, which we talked about, and the power you get from true collaboration, maybe with creators or your community.
So CMOs have a bigger job than ever, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's not just hitting targets anymore. It's about architecting systems, shaping the whole company culture, really provoking that internal evolution we discussed while still delivering results.
Okay, so the reflective question here for you is, are you building a setup that allows for both? For that quick reaction, that agility, but also for sustained long-term brand growth?
Are you building real brand muscle, or is it just, short-term marketing motion, lots of activity, but maybe not lasting impact?
Right.
And I think the sort of overarching feeling coming out of the Vanguard Summit was that AI, artificial intelligence, it's quickly becoming this dividing line.
How so?
It's separating the brands that are kind of slow to react, stuck in old ways, from those that are actively listening, really tuning in to the live signals from customers and adapting fast.
Which brings us back to measurement, in a way.
Exactly.
What are we truly measuring? Is it just clicks and actions? Or are we gauging our actual impact, the positive feelings, the joy, the trust, the loyalty we're building? And you have to ask, in this super fast environment, does even the most brilliant marketing message matter if it lands at the wrong time or in the wrong place?
Yeah, timing and context are everything. And the summit also really highlighted how much the landscape has shifted in terms of where customers even look for information, where they make decisions.
It's not just Google anymore, is it?
Not at all. Increasingly, it's platforms like TikTok, it's Reddit, it's engaging directly with creators they trust.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Which really leads us to that final big challenging question that came out of the summit, right?
Yeah, the core one.
Is your marketing optimized for where decisions used to be made or where they're actually happening right now?
Are you really listening in those new spaces, or are you still mostly just broadcasting your message out?
And maybe most importantly, are you meeting your customer in their moment, on their terms, or are you still kind of operating on your own schedule, your own terms?
Well, thanks for tuning in to this very first episode of Let's Chat.
Yeah, this was fun, and it's just the start. If you found this interesting, keep an ear out next week.
Yep, next week is Let's Chat Tariffs, so drop us a follow if you want to stay updated.
We'll catch you in the feed.